It went really well.
Snare.
So, you guys are from Oakland, right? No, that's another counter-stereotype. They came from Placerville. They came from Placerville.
Hey, is the feed on? Yep.
So you know some of the stereotypes about Placerville.
We're live again.
Oh yeah. I just want to ask you some questions.
Hey, do you want it live streamed?
Yeah, if you want. These people are pretty curious about IWW. These guys visited the Occupy Oakland.
Okay, we're about to interview some people who visited Occupy Oakland about the raid and stuff like that. So here you go. Yeah.
We should invite them.
Hey guys. So I'm gonna sit here and talk to these guys who visited Occupy Oakland, pick their brains a little bit, learn about the other Occupy movements. You guys don't mind being on camera, do you?
You okay with it?
Okay. It's not recording. It's just our World Wide Web people are watching.
Yes, please do.
Awesome. I'd like to put a copy.
There we go.
Okay, be great.
Okay, so when did you go to visit Occupy Oakland?
Last Friday.
Yeah? And what was that like?
Amazing.
It was amazing. I felt really secure.
Yeah.
It was a very peaceful, what I felt to be pretty organized. They were feeding people 3 times a day. They had actually planted a community garden. I mean, it just seemed like a community that was working well together.
When you walked into the park, it was literally you're walking into their community.
Yeah.
That was just building every minute.
Wow.
Yeah.
How big is their park compared to our park here?
Size-wise, the square is probably about the same, I would say.
Yeah.
The total square in front of City Hall.
They have an amphitheater that takes up quite a bit of it.
Yeah. And how did they have theirs set up? Like, was their tents the way we have tents out here, or did they have more enclosed tents, or was it all just open?
They had tents like you guys, but it was there were so many people there that the tents are right on top of each other, which we have pictures on our cell phone.
Yeah.
But there were just that many. There must have been
50
to 75 tents set up, one on top of the other. And they had straw down in the grass so they didn't ruin the grass, and they had pallets. They have pallets built up throughout, like
sidewalks.
Streets.
Yeah.
They had all the sidewalks named like streets.
Named like your
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
Very
each area
organized.
there was an information booth. There was a kitchen, and the kitchen was feeding people 3 times a day. They have a supply tent there.
Yeah. Were they actually cooking in their kitchen?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Very
I
cool.
got pictures on my camera if you'd like to view them.
Yeah. Get those ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were serving spaghetti that afternoon.
Nice.
And had already fed them for breakfast while we were there.
They had first aid. They had a first aid tent going on, which was ready in case anything happened. They were giving water to people, several times a day.
That's very cool. So, the day you were there, how many people would you say were there?
200 maybe. I mean, I don't know total.
People were in and out of their tents. And
Yeah.
I don't know how many were camped versus how many were there, but I know there was a few hundred at least mowing around.
Could you say at least 300?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
People that were camped or,
Yeah.
or just visiting or being part of the occupation. A teacher from the School of Arts had brought a class, which was really neat because we got to hear the perspectives of the young people, what they thought about the occupation, and I thought their contribution to what was going on was pretty valuable.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
That's really neat. Did they have any events, assemblies, GAs, or anything that you attended?
Yeah. Actually, they have a list that changes daily.
Yeah, like a schedule?
And so that was at the information booth.
Yeah.
They had labor solidarity while we were there. That was one of them.
The ISO, you mean?
Yeah. They had, like at 3:40, they were doing a seminar on all the Oakland schools, public schools, and what they needed and how to change it.
Wow. Okay.
But it was almost every hour was something.
Yeah. That is very cool. That's what we're actually trying to build up to here now. We're still small and not growing very fast, but we're working on it. Were they allowed to occupy overnight there in their park?
But they don't have permits.
They don't have permits, and they were basically, occupying it under their First Amendment rights.
Yeah, and the city just left them alone to do
They
it.
left them alone, but they got the 10-day eviction notice, and as you know, as a couple nights ago,
they got that on Thursday night.
We saw how that turned out. Yeah.
A friend of mine that was there the night that the Oakland PD came in and did their raid.
Yeah.
Now he's in his later 60s, and he said he'd been to many anti-war protests through the 60s. That he said that he had never experienced such a force, huge law enforcement presence in all his years.
Wow.
He witnessed somebody being shot with a rubber bullet.
Yeah. Did you guys see on the news what happened there? Okay, do you want to describe that for our viewers who may not have seen that real fast?
Well, while we watched the thing, it was a Ustream feed, and it documents the whole thing, but it was like they were pretty much completely surrounded by the Oakland police. I know that through my friend at the Pleasanton Police, the Union City Police, the Alameda Police, the Highway Patrol.
Just all the police force was there.
Yeah. And on the Ustream, they actually said they'd actually brought one of those sonic cannons.
Yeah.
They had that ready to use, but it didn't use it, but it was there.
Yeah. Sonic cannon is a gun that sort of fires off such a high-pitched sound that it deafens people to the point where they just have to collapse to the ground. So, why did you think the police force was there in such a way, or what's your opinions of that?
Because they fear the people coming together. They don't want to.
Right.
My opinion is that I believe the Occupy movement is becoming so big that the Democratic Party is actually getting scared and are, being told by the powers to be that they got to squash this thing, because the same day that they hit Oakland, they also hit Atlanta and arrested people in Atlanta.
Yeah. So it seems like Occupy New York was the first to really get attacked by the police. Here in Occupy Sacramento, we're not being attacked so much as repressed by the police, but other cities are starting to kind of push back against the Occupy movement as it grows. You guys express you think that's out of fear, that's out of the fear of change, of breaking the status quo, that's out of the fear of the people taking the power back from the government?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Wow. Is there anything else you wanted to add in regards to Occupy Oakland that people might want to hear about?
Well, I feel that the police presence and the brutality was absolutely uncalled for. And I believe, what we witnessed was a total peaceful, community that kind of force was not needed.
Yeah.
And the media coverage about it has been crap.
Really? Has it sided with the police or with the city?
Mostly.
Yeah.
And there's been a few that haven't, but they're talking about how unclean it was and how unsafe it was, and that people were violent, and the cops today said that there was rape and there was people defecating on the sidewalks, and
we saw none of that.
Really?
What I do want to say is that in the kitchens and the things that they were recycling everything recyclable. They were composting any kind of waste, that food that wasn't eaten. I mean, they had a stationary bicycle that was being used to generate electricity to power the computers.
So you had to bicycle for 30 minutes.
So people could get exercise at their movement while powering the movement.
Yeah, the CNA, the Certified Nurses Association, brought in porta potties.
Wow.
And they also had nurses that were volunteering in case, if something came down and people needed any kind of medical care.
Yeah. So the community really seemed to support the Occupy movement there, and it seems as though the officials of the city did not support it at all. So what do we do when there's a clash between the community and the people who are designed to represent the community,
We keep growing.
You keep building and you keep occupying.
So for anyone that's watching, come down to Sacramento, to Oakland, to wherever
an occupation nearest your home. Show up, make it happen.
Totally. Thank you guys.
We're here.
Yeah. That's awesome. So, everybody, that's that interview. Just one sec. These guys actually were there. They saw how peaceful the Occupy Oakland movement was. We've all heard about the attacks on them, completely uncalled for, and that's a sad thing. I'm going to go ahead and pass you back off to whoever your admin of this computer is, alright?
Hi, live stream. Okay, I'm going to end. Hey, what was that interview?